Okay, Airbnb, I think you guys know what it is and how it works. It's basically a platform for homeowners to rent out their spaces for travelers. So one of the problems that Airbnb noticed when it comes to these kind of methods of house hopping is the trust problem. Okay, so the trust problem is one of the problems that Airbnb say that they can find a solution to it. So, and again, Airbnb find out that the problem is people have trust issues, so they created a platform or a software where people can have privacy and trust. So one of the things that you can look into is when it comes to problem solving business ideas. So as a summary, businesses that has many customers, they usually solve a problem that many people have. Okay, so the more critical the problem is, the more demand it's going to be. So you know how currently we are in the pandemic, right? And the health industry has been blooming ever since then. So for example, the demand for vaccine is high because we are facing the same critical problem. So one thing for sure, if the companies who are doing the vaccine, they're going to benefit from it the most because it has high in demand. So think about it again, okay? So the more critical the problem is, the more high in demand it's going to be. So for example, you already have your business idea and you've already identify your the solution, the possible solution for your business. Do is research and testing. Okay, so by doing research before you start your business is very crucial. Especially some startups, they're doing research and testing for years before they launch their product. So it's very crucial for you to do research and testing before you start your business. So in the next slide, I'll be going and I'll be telling you how you should be doing your market research. Right. So here are the three main points of market research. So by doing market research, you'll be able to know and gain knowledge of information in certain industry. So we have three main points here. The first one is market trend. So market trend is basically you asking yourself what kind of products and services are people searching for, okay? Or what's popular, what's trending, and what's high in demand. So you need to search for it in the market. What are the trending items nowadays? Okay. Next is we're going to target market. So who are your specific targeted customers, or who do you want to sell your product to? What kind of customers behavior do you prefer? So you need to know who are you going to sell your products to, or who are who are the people that are going to be using your services. So make sure you have all of these answers before you start your business, okay? And lastly, we'll be looking into market size. Okay, market size is basically understanding the amount of people who are going to purchase your product or your potential customer. How many potential customers would you have? Okay. All right. So these are the three methods of what you should do when it comes to market research. Okay. I hope I'm not going too fast. So in the next slide, I'll be looking into business trends. So I hope you have your paper and pens ready because this is going to be great tips for you, especially business ideas that are ongoing at the moment. Okay? All right. So before this, people see online services as untrustworthy, or that's just why they are going for the traditional way of shopping. But due to the pandemic, people are forced to do their businesses online instead, or they have to go to the internet and find their customers online. And from this, you can actually see the trend why people tend to overbuy products online than usually the traditional method. So this is why you have to take this opportunity to have your online businesses or bring your business online. Because, okay, because why? If you see from the first photo, you can actually see the store is selling clothes on the rack, right? And if you see the difference between on the online shopping platform, you have a better view of the products, which makes it easier for your customers to see all of your items instead of going one by one in the rack. So if you have a platform to sell all your items, people can simply scroll through and add to cart. So this is a very great way for you to start your business, because the more people buy your product, the more profit or the more money you'll get, right? So I guess if you are planning to do your service, or if you want to have businesses, go for online businesses. It's one of the best way for you to generate more of this opportunity. Okay? So, the next slide, we'll be talking about businesses that are blooming, especially during the pandemic. So, I hope you guys are ready with all your notes and everything, because I'm giving you a lot of tips, or maybe you can actually gain points from it. Okay? So, one thing for sure, I think you know that logistics, runner, and parcel delivery services are blooming during this pandemic. You know, there are more than 4,000 people registered as domestic runner services, especially in Brunei alone. Okay, and more upcoming. This is because um, this is because more people are cautious of their health, and of course, most people have only two options when it comes to buying things from the traditional method. It's either you go out and possibly getting disinfected, or you stay at home and trust online shopping. So, if we think about it, the traditional way of shopping is very complex. If you see from this image alone, you can see you have to go to the shop, take your shopping cart, go for each aisle, you fill up your cart, and then you have to wait in line. Okay, you wait for the queue and you wait for your cashier to check out your point, and then you go to your car and drive back home. That's just a hassle nowadays, right? But the modern way of shopping is simple as three steps only. You check your phone, you choose the item that you want to buy, you pay, and then you just wait for it to be delivered at your house. So if you see the way of traditional way of shopping and the modern way of shopping, it's you see how the difference is, because it's more easier. That's why most people discover that the convenience of online shopping is better now. Okay, so of course, as an opportunity, if you want to do your business, do encourage yourself to go online, because it's convenient. People are mostly on their phones now. It's more accessible for us to get to the internet. Okay, and and again, um, if you want to continue business, these are the upcoming trends that you do too. So if you're not thinking of businesses, or if you're thinking of opening a business, these are upcoming trends post-pandemic. So before this is the pandemic. This one is post-pandemic, since we're in the transitional phase. So we're going to go into the upcoming trends for post-pandemic. Okay. So I think you know that health industry is blooming now. So of course, fashion face mask is one of the things that people look into. I think you've seen it online, how many people that are wanting to buy fashion face masks. Cleaning services is one of the trending businesses that are ongoing, especially cleaning products too, and sanitizing services. Since people are going back to the office, or people going back to the shop, they need services that are sanitizing their area before they start opening their businesses. So these are the health industry related. And then, of course, once we are allowed to travel, pet sitting is one of the blooming businesses that's going to happen. Because, of course, if you leave your pets at home, you need someone to pet sit your pets. So, one of the businesses that will be trending soon would be pet sitting. And next, we'll talk into IT related. Okay, so IT related businesses is going to be very much blooming, especially post pandemic, even during the pandemic, because people are searching for web development or software development or IT related businesses, because they are moving their businesses online. So you as a student, or if you're an inspiring entrepreneur, you can actually take this as advantage. Like, you can actually go to Google. Google has a lot of short online courses that you can join to enhance your skills in IT. Okay? All right. So moving on, online fitness and online fitness classes. I think you've seen it trending nowadays. People are moving online when it comes to online classes. Even online cooking classes is trending now. If you can see, there are a lot of classes being offered for people to have online classes. Even online tuition classes in the comfort of your home. You can do online tuition classes. Even you can reach to other people outside Brunei too. Okay? And if you're feeling creative, content creator, or being a content creator is a great way for you to look into the business idea. And next is, last but not least, one of my favorite is DIY kits or do-it-yourself kits or home activities. So if you have a business idea that is related to home activities, it would be super great for you to provide that service for people because some people are just scared to leave the house. So and again, if you provide these kind of home activities for people to do, especially during the post-pandemic or during the pandemic, it's another great way for you to bloom your business. Okay. To end off my session, of course, the pandemic has changed the way we meet, we invest, we buy, and the way we do business. And there's no doubt that this isn't just a phase where the economy slows down, but this is much more. This is a period of change. So this is where you take your opportunity to start your business. Okay? And wrapping up my keynote, I know it's a bit quick, so I summarize it for you all. So if you want to find a business idea, it would be best for you to identify a problem first that you can solve. And then once you have that business idea, then you can start with doing market research, okay? Market research include market trends, target market size, okay? So that is what you need to do once you have your business idea. And then I gave you some tips of business trends at the moment, which includes parcel delivery and logistics, health industry, online services, and DIY kits. So that's my summary of today's keynote. Thank you, everyone. I hope that's not too fast for you.
Thank you, Cigu Hana Hadman, for your wonderful presentation. Hopefully, all of the audience will able to brainstorm for their next big idea. We will now move on to the second keynote session of the day.
Thank you very much, Cikgu Nazwan. Now over to me. Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to everyone. I hope you can hear me well. Yes? Okay, all right, thank you. Hi, so another speaker we have with us here today is an award winner, an entrepreneur, and I must say a philanthropist who has quite extensive and impressive work helping communities. All the way from the Philippines, we welcome Mr. Aristelo Asilo, COO and co-founder of Varico Inc. Is Mr. Aristo Asilo here?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Lovely to see you.
yeah. Can everybody please give me a thumbs up or a heart icon to know that you're all alive and you're all safe? Just give me a thumbs up and a heart sign, please. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, I see many heart signs and thumbs up. Okay, that's good. Good morning. I think all of us have gotten order coffee and tea. That's very nice. That's very nice. All right. I'll proceed. I'll share. Yeah.
Lovely to see you, Mr. Asilo. We've
Yeah.
spoken in the text, but now it's lovely to see you live.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes, yes. I'm
Okay.
very new in MS Teams, and I see many virtual squares, virtual floors, right? So I think should I begin my presentation now?
Yes, please,
Okay.
Mr. Asilo. Yes.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'll share
Welcome,
the
Mr.
screen.
Asilo. All right.
One moment, please. Do you see now my screen? My PowerPoint?
Yes, it's coming up.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. All
Okay,
right.
it's there already. All right. Okay. Okay. Again, good morning, everyone, and it is an honor to be one of the resource speakers in this virtual camp. According to the World Economic Forum's insights, the 4IR or the Fourth Industrial Revolution will have major effects on customer expectations, product enhancements, collaborative innovation, and organizational forms. But through entrepreneurship, we can continue to satisfy customers through better service. And you've heard the first presentation presented about the better trends or the upcoming trends. Our various digital presence increases the value of our brand in both physical and digital spaces, right? And the first presentation affirmed that thought. Big data has an effect on how we will link with others given the speed of disruptions and analytics. Those are the keywords, disruptions and analytics in innovation. With new digital and global platforms, we have to change the way we recruit, process, and hire talents, right? The fourth industrial revolution. That's why we're doing this innovation thought thinking. But for the past 2 years, the fourth industrial revolution has been accelerated logarithmically. It should have happened in the next 5 years or 10 years, but because of the pandemic, it accelerated so much. The 4 IR shall put people first and empowering them. Entrepreneurship, that's why we're here together. It brings the purpose, the empathy, and creativity. That's why we all are here. We want to be creative. We want to be empathic. So I'm going to present to you my experiences, innovation in a time of crisis on better production and storytelling techniques. So I would like to focus on these two very important things because nowadays it's an era of fake news. It's an era of so many things that we don't know already, which one is really innovative, which one is fake, which one is truth, which one is apocryphal. So, okay, I'm going to move forward. Here, I summarized that in this poster. I want to focus in this one because we have a common denominator in Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines on production. Almost all of us are like in this situation in the production. And just for the last 2 years, we produce a lot. Alcohol, rice, foods, and etc. So how do we innovate using the economics of unified sustainability? So let's focus further on this aspect and what we can learn from our own experiences in innovation. In our country, and I'm sure in the whole of ASEAN in general, there is a problem of decreasing number of youths taking agribusiness courses and the problem of dwindling number of farmers due to old age. You remember in the first presentation, the presenter mentioned about identifying exactly the problem. And we have to acknowledge that there's a problem. There is also the problem of the lack of skilled individuals and more profitable enterprises in the field of agriculture in the countryside. And I'm sure not just in the agriculture sector, maybe in the other sectors as well. A need for more farmer or farmer entrepreneurs. And I'm sure all of us here have an interest in farming or in being an entrepreneur. Is urgently needed now, especially this time of COVID-19, where the economic and business landscapes have changed dramatically. I will say logarithmically, because the last 2 years it becomes so fast. Like, oh, how come the others are left behind, especially those who don't have laptops, who don't have internet? How about us who have this kind of opportunities or privilege to have this internet or visual app? How about the others who do not have? How do we innovate? How do we bring them up together with us? Therefore, an educational intervention is needed to answer these problems. And this is a wonderful platform, an educational visual camp platform. In this current crisis, technology has become the forefront where we are all glued in small virtual squares like Zoom and MS Teams. I see small squares. Basically, the economic assessment of new technology in innovation are covered by 3 frameworks. You have to remember these 3 frameworks when doing an innovative technology or innovative aspect: productivity, profitability, and equity. Herewith, in the second column, presenting you the following theoretical framework that the parameters of empowerment in innovation of all BIMP countries are maintained as long as the C means cultural, is equivalent to N, natural, and E, economic, okay, or the environmental. You can interchange it, economic expansion. In layman terms, this is the parameter, the first one, the first formula. The first parameter of the situation where the cultural and ecological habitat of our countries in Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, whether they be farmers or fisher folks, youths, laborers, or professionals, are kept balanced with the accumulation of economic profits or capital in the rice lands, farms, cities, or localities of all of us. All right? This means, however, that the increased economic expansion because of innovation is achieved at the direct expense of culture and nature. And we don't want that to happen, right? Because we might produce, we might do these ideas and etc. But if it is to the direct expense of our culture and nature, is it good? Is it a good innovation? Thus, if all nations of the world were to industrialize, to innovate, such dynamic will be achieved materially. Okay, you have these materials, you have these goods, but how about your culture? How about your environment? What's going to happen? But therefore, in innovation, we are promoting the alternative paradigm, which is the lower formula, sustainable development, which is the exact reverse of the above pattern related to cultural, natural, and economic. So the reciprocal of the above economic formula may appear as shown herein. So in innovation, we want sustainable development. In the third column, this is an example of what we've been doing. We created an 8-kilometer farm-to-market road to the tune of 132 million pesos, or around $4 million from World Bank. So this is an example, and we are using new technology this time of COVID. We're using Internet of Things. We're using big data to help the farmers innovate in their ways of monitoring the climate. Because nowadays, the climate is getting mad, getting crazy. It's cold, it's windy, it's hot, it's sunny. We don't know even when it's going to rain. So now, how do we innovate? We as youths here, watching and listening in this presentation, this wonderful and very good program, virtual platform of BIMP, of BIMP-EAGA. Quickly, level one, we learn from educational institution like this virtual platform that will create farmers or entrepreneurs like us. It will be a tool. It's a tool. Remember, it's a tool. In innovation, it is a tool to achieve at first level for the level two. You see level two in the fourth column for the market integration and being immersed into these enterprises. So I hope after listening to the presentation until day three, you get immersed in your own enterprise or in your own communities. Up to level three, where value chain and climate smart post-harvest sectors of agricultures and fisheries could be created through marketing and branding. So we have to market it, we have to brand it. You don't keep your idea, you don't keep your innovation, you bring it to the world. Okay? Therefore, innovation by way of nature positive production is achievable by inclusive, value chain oriented, and climate resilient type of development. All right? So I hope this explains a little bit more of our economics of sustainability in innovation. Okay, let me move to slide 3. Now, how do we prop up innovation? Now, we have so many ideas. How do we prop it up? Now, there's a definition of leadership. Leadership is accepting responsibility for enabling others to achieve a shared purpose in the face of uncertainty. Uncertainty is the crisis. Now, let's replace the word leadership with entrepreneurship. It has the same strong meaning, right? But crisis is very uncertain, especially in this vulnerable and ambiguous world. We need to work together. So now, how do we work together to make sure that we lead and be enterprising? So we need to have the, the art of inspiring action. We need to inspire action. And it is an art. The art of inspiring action creates a community. And that community creates a movement of diverse individuals like all of us who might have varying perspectives, but are all interconnected and interrelated. This art needs the mind, the heart, and our collective action. That's how we innovate together, not individually. We need to create a constellation of innovation, not individual innovations. Because if we work together, like what we do in BIMP, we do the art of inspiring action. And that is an innovation in itself. Okay, so one example of inspiring action is by sharing our stories. What is a story? A story can be apocryphal, factual, or fictional. In this time of worldwide fake news and distorted views, we need to be very vigilant, right? And draw the line. We need more critical minds to examine the information and side with the truth, the facts, and the good. Telling a story is based on our own experiences, our own challenges, our ways of overcoming these predicaments, and eventually rising above the challenges. One can easily tell a story. Anyone can do it. But we must remember to be authentic, vulnerable, and concrete. And that's a very powerful way of innovating. Down to my 3 slides. So sharing to you a few tips of telling a story. Remember that a story is best told when it is relatable and empathetic. So here you can rediscover or discover your story. You have to select your target audience. You have to know your core message. Are you inspiring action? Do you want them to move forward? Do you want them to donate? Do you want them to buy? So we have to select our story. Create a call to action, inspire action, and select a medium where you will tell your story. So this is a very powerful way of doing innovation. Now, anyone who has a new idea and wants to change the world will do better by telling stories than any amount of logical exhortation. Anyone can have the idea. But if you are not able to tell the story, how can you innovate? If you keep it by yourself, it will not make the lives of others good. Then what's the purpose of innovation? So we have to inspire action. We have to work together. So to conclude, I would like to reiterate the power of innovation, and innovation comes in with entrepreneurship. It is a powerful tool in sustainable development. We need to look into the lens of ecology, of human development, or an end-to-end perspective of value chain. We need to be able to ascertain that innovation alone is a powerful resource that we can maximize to create infinite opportunities. The advent of fourth industrial revolution is critical to the success of innovation through entrepreneurship. We have to identify new technology so that we don't get left behind in this fast changing world. We need to be able to empower all sectors of the society, especially from the most impoverished, one that help people to be healthy, communities to thrive, and our nature to be protected. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asilo. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, doctor.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Mr. Asilo. Maybe in 1 minute, if you could give us like a tip for being innovative at a time of crisis, maybe in 3 words for
Yeah.
them to remember.
Yeah. We
Yes.
have to think in the long run. We don't because nowadays we tend to become disappointed, frustrated because everything is at the tips of our hands. You Google it, you order it online, etc. And we when the thing you order is not available, we get disappointed, we get frustrated. The mindset is changing, so we have to keep our mindset long term. So if we want to innovate things, it won't happen overnight. It might happen in 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, etc. So that's one tip. Be patient, be flexible, and be creative, and it begins in the mindset. Yeah,
Thank you very much, Mr.
you're welcome.
Asilo. Very inspiring and very lively and enlightening presentation today. Thank you very much. We hope
Thank you
that
very
this
much.
has given our participants more ideas for the activity later. Now I hand this over to our next keynote address. Thank you very much, everyone, once again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Ashikin and Mr. Aristelo, for your keynote session. Maybe we can continue the next session with the questions and answers. We can get questions from the participants directed to the keynote speakers. If you can have any questions directed to them, then we can leave the floor to question and answer for the next few minutes. Yeah?
Okay. All right. Do we have any questions from the floor for Mr. Aristelo and also Puan Hannah? You could switch on your mics or raise your hands and you can take your turn after that. Or even type in the chat. I can read the questions for the keynote speakers. Any questions? No questions? Okay, maybe I have a question then for Mr. Asilo. Okay, right. Mr. Asilo, maybe you haven't said much. I know that your focus seemed to be very much on helping impoverished communities and those who suffered crisis. And I read that on your biography, and I would like to find out more on what you have done actually in terms of in your innovative thinking of helping others who are suffering of such crisis or who had to go through such crisis, and how did you going into the entrepreneur and entrepreneurship, and also being, not just to do with making profits, but also at the same time helping communities. Yeah. So what have, inspired you to do that?
Yeah. I came from a very poor family. I started working at the age of 6. So I really know how it feels to be poor. And I really know how it feels to have nothing on your table. There was a day that I couldn't eat anything in a day. And I grew up in a very poor family. So it's all started there when I was 6 years old and I was very sickly. So I said, moving forward, I don't want others to feel it. And in order for others, and that's the thing that I have seen all my life in the Philippines. So many poor people, like in one area, 50% of them living below poverty threshold. And I said, what could I do in order for them not to experience what I felt, what I have experienced in my family? So I said, okay, I have to do something. So I studied hard. I taught very hard, and I really connected with many people. And then I did not succeed immediately. I failed twice first, and then at the third try, I succeeded. And because I think long term, because for some others, if they fail first time, they stop altogether forever. But me, I know I don't. There's no room for losing. I have to win. I have to get it. I have a goal. I have a vision, and I think that's a very important thing that young ones, especially aspiring entrepreneurs, to get. You have to have a clear vision, a clear mission, and why are you doing this? You have to know your why. Why your purpose? Are you doing this primarily for profit, or are you doing this to help others? I think it begins with the why, the vision, and the mission. Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you very much. That's very humbling, Mr. Asilo. Thank you very much and very inspiring. I have a question here in the chat box. It says, let me go from the first one. For both Miss Hannah and Mr. Aristello, how do you keep yourself motivated? Oh, that's a good question. The motivation drives us, right? So how do we keep yourselves motivated? So maybe I'll give the floor first to Puan Hannah and then the second to Mr. Aristello. Is Puan Hannah here? Is Puan Hannah here? Okay, maybe while waiting then, Mr. Asilo, you can
Yeah,
actually answer this. Yes.
yeah. I I
Okay.
I I don't work a lot actually. I like what I mean is that I do a lot of things. I mean, I spend a few hours in my company, and then I go out, I travel, I volunteer, I mingle with other people, so I don't get burned out. I think motivation is more of not getting burned out, because a lot of times people get depressed, get stressed immediately. But I'm so hyper. With my energy this morning, I actually haven't slept. I only actually have slept for a few hours because we're going to open a few more stores this pandemic. We're expanding even the
Ah,
pandemic. And how do I get motivated? We're opening 3 more stores in the Philippines, a big one, a small one, etc. And so many other malls like the SM Mall, etc., are inviting us to open. And that keeps me motivated because I know what I want. I want to have the people, I want to give jobs. I love coffee, I love chocolates, and I travel a lot. So when I get back here, my team is very hyper because we work together. I think that keeps me motivated because I know what I want, and I volunteer, and I drink coffee. I think that's the most important thing.
yes. I think your liveliness is also contagious, that we are also here pumped up and motivated just listening to you, Mr. Asilo.
Go,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe can I have Puan Hannah as well respond to this? Because the question is also for you, Puan Hannah.
May I know what's the question? Sorry, I was out from my office just now.
No worries. I'll read that again to you. For both Miss Hannah and Mr. Aristello, how do you keep yourself motivated?
Um, so the definition of motivation means that you keep on going and having a positive mind, and having the feeling of being motivated is having your surroundings to be motivating you too. So, and again, it always is having that positive mind, and of course helping other people too and benefiting other people too. It makes you motivated to go on with any type of things that you're trying to do. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Puan Hannah. Right. So I hope everyone, both of your motivations can inspire all of us here Inshallah. Now I have a few questions for Mr. Asilo to do with the storytelling. I'll just combine them. I'll read them all together and for you to respond at once. Yeah. So the first question about storytelling. Do you have any criteria for telling the story as you mentioned earlier? And then the other question related to that. So the quality of our storytelling will determine how good we are trying to convince people via business pitching, providing solution. Is that the case? Okay, and then another one. What is the story about? How can we create the story? Yeah, that's all about storytelling, Mr. Asilo.
Yeah, that's very wonderful questions. I love the questions. There's there's every person has a unique story. As Miss Hannah said a while ago, you have to start with an idea and you have to research it. You cannot just tell a story, right? Because if you tell a story and it's not true, then others might believe it. And then if you keep telling that same story that is not true, it becomes a truth already or a fact, right? So a story has to be truthful first, and it has to emanate from oneself. And if the story is as a real experience, then it's better because when you have a story of your own, like I have my story when I was starting to work at 6. Then if you have a story of your own, then you how you overcame it and how you innovated it, and then I think it's just a wonderful way of telling a story. So a story has first to come from oneself, or it has to come from an idea that you like, and you have to create your own story. And then yes, it's something that when you do business pitching, a business pitch should not just be so logical like this is the finances, etc. A story is better when you have the heart. It should be a combination of your mind and the heart, because when you tell a business pitch, it has to be something that is really from the heart and not just you just seem to be like reading it. It has to be authentic, right? So, and it has to be truthful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Asilo. Okay, maybe one last question. Well, two questions, but I'll combine them into one because I see them as interrelated. So it's I guess it's for both. So we can talk about this together. The question is, what was the most difficult challenge for you to overcome based on your experience? And I believe that it has to do with mindset as well. So I'll also read out the second question. How do you influence or change their mindset? Okay, so maybe Puan Hana first. All right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so how do you influence or change a mindset of someone is by understanding your end goal. Okay, so if you have the same goal or objective, that's how you change someone's influence or change their mindset. So make sure when it comes to trying to influence people, you need to have the same goal, or else it will be difficult for you to convince someone or change their mindset. So, for example, as an entrepreneur, you need to convince people what you're trying to solve or what kind of problem that you're trying to, of course, identify and find a possible solution for it. Because any kind of businesses is, and again, the end product needs to be helping people or make it beneficial for everyone else too. So that's all for me.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Puan Hana. Mr. Asilo now then.
Yeah, my mindset before was I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be the center. I want to excel. I want to achieve a lot of things because as a young person, I wanted that mindset. But over time, as I got to have my experiences, my mindset changed from growth to mission. I think that was what Miss Hannah was saying, that between growth and mission, I focus on the mission and the growth follows. So my mindset of becoming too focused on myself, because when you're young, you become so hyper, you become so competitive and all. You want to get this model, you want to be top one, you want to be this best one, best in etc etc. And then from as you grow, as you get mature, you tend to focus less on yourself, right? You tend to focus more on the family, on others. And I think that's the best mindset that we could ever have. And then when you do it more for others, I think that's the best mindset, and you will succeed. You just don't know. Okay, you're enjoying. You don't get burned out because you're doing this not only for yourself. Of course, there's a little part for ourselves, but it should be more for others. And one example that I have overcome that, for example, in during the course of my career right now for the last 15 years, is that I was able to help more than 600 farmers instead of just because you look at them, you listen to them, and I think the mindset starts from listening from others rather than from ourselves. I think that's very important. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Silo and Puan Hana. Both very inspiring and very, I think it's important to think about how we should not lose sight about what our main purpose is actually to help others, although we want to achieve our goals. But it's also, in fact, very noble to actually help the people as well. Yes, right. Thank you very much then for to both speakers. I don't think I have any other questions? No? Okay. Right. So shall I hand this over back to Puan Farah? Puan Farah, do we have the next keynote speaker? Because
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Wilfredo D. Carrion Jr. I am the Dean of the College of Business Administration of the Jose Rizal Memorial State University. This university is considered as the premier university in the province of Zamboanga del Norte. We offer business programs like Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, Bachelor of Science in Management Accounting, Bachelor of Science in Accounting Information System, Bachelor of Science in Internal Auditing, Bachelor in Business Administration, major in Marketing Management and Financial Management, Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management, Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management, Bachelor of Science in Entrepreneurship, and Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness. So today I will be discussing to you pandemic business opportunities. So let me start this presentation with a quote from Winston Churchill, which read, "See the opportunity in every difficulty." As we all know, as entrepreneurs, we always find the silver lining, even in the most difficult and trying times. We always want to look at the opportunity amidst a calamity, amidst a very difficult situation, or amidst a favorable situation. If we look at it, the business confidence index has dropped in the year 2020 because of the pandemic. It tries to recover at some point during the third quarter, and it goes on recovering on the first quarter of 2021, but eventually it dropped in the second quarter. And the reason why is that because of the Delta variant. Now, as we all see, if the economy is down, everything would be difficult. Everything would be so difficult for us to do, particularly doing business, increasing our capacity to pay, increasing our buying power. It's very difficult for us to do if the economy is down. So, what do entrepreneurs see? Optimism doesn't wait on facts, it deals with prospects, and thus, according to Barbara Weltman in 2021. So, as entrepreneurs, we are always optimistic. We are always looking at the positive side in every situation. We are always looking at what is advantageous and how do we turn the disadvantage into an advantage. We always are optimists. So entrepreneurs keep on thinking, how do we make things better? Not just for us, but also with our stakeholders. So Wealthman in 2021 identified three ways that business owners can stay optimistic as the pandemic drags on. Number one it's looking at the trend. Second is keeping things in perspective. Third is working on the positive, staying positive. So let me go back to number one, looking at the trend. So all of us entrepreneurs keep in mind that there is always a chance to do business. So we look at what is going on in us, what is going on outside us, what is going on in the community, what is going on in the world, what is the trend of today. So we look at all of these things like what is really happening, what do people love, what do people like, what do what are people fond of buying, what are people fond of wearing, what are people fond of using. So we look at all of these trends. Second is keeping things in perspective. So we always keep an eye on the things that goes around us, on the things that are happening around us, and then staying positive. So how do we stay positive? It's keeping an open mind, allowing ourselves to have bad days. So it is not bad to have bad days because we learn from them. These experiences are teaching us on how to make things better along the way. Because if we do not have bad days, maybe we are not working, maybe we are not thinking, maybe we are not feeling. What are those things that are happening, currently happening around us? Are we really doing the right things? Now, if nobody would tell you that something is wrong, what something is not doing good, then how would you know? Especially if you are very confident about yourself. So we should allow ourselves to experience bad days. And then third, make a list of things you can manage. Now, we cannot do everything correctly. We cannot perfect everything at once. So might as well we work on the things that we are capable of doing. We work on the things that we are capable of managing. We work on the things that we are capable of working because this could help us slowly succeed. So going up the ladder is not just a step away. You have to go through a lot of trying times. So uh, along the way, we try to manage ourselves and keep things in perspective so that we could reach our goal that is staying on the top. Now, uh, according to Better Tone, those who stay positive eventually have the best things in mind. So here are some of their ideas. The business opportunities during the pandemic. That's according to Better Tone. So Bitterton identified some international business ideas during the pandemic. And the first one is coming up with handmade products. So handmade products are very easy and this can be done out of a hobby. A hobby. These are things that we are fond of doing during our spare time or even we really need to allocate some of our time just to do our hobbies because we enjoy doing this. And this is attributed to do it yourself. So things that you can do at home, things that you can do during your break time, things that you can do when you have nothing else to do, when you do not go shopping, when you do not go to the office, when you do not go with your friends outside. So these are the things that can uh, um, take your time while you are relaxing, while you have nothing else to do. So, handmade products are very easy products to make because this can be done out of your hobby or out of a training that you may have attended or out of an interest and curiosity. So, handmade products are just little things that you can make. So, for example, this mug. So, um, I have been into this cute business for a while, the sublimation printing for mugs, personalized mugs, and it did well. So prior to other big things that I did, I was into this business, and this is very interesting. This is making money. This is giving you comfort. This is giving you some financial returns when you want them. Second is uh, home beauty kits. So as we all know nowadays, especially the ladies, they wanted to look beautiful. They wanted to have fair skin. So having to sell home beauty kits, beauty products like teeth whitening or products that make the skin fair, or having a curvious body, or having a very smooth face and even face. These are all things that people would think of today because all the aesthetics are already sold, and for some people it is already your fault if you still look ugly because of a lot of things that you can find and you can buy from a physical store or maybe online. So these things are widely sold even in the virtual market. So doing business with home beauty products are making a lot of sense for a lot of people who have their interest on it. The next one is on commercial cleaning. So for private businesses or even government agencies now are really looking at the possibility of entering into a contract with a manning agency for utility services, for security services. And this all makes sense in today's times because you do not have to, if you are in, you do not have really to manage the people that are into it because it is the agency that works. So if you are an agency, you take charge, you sell these people, and you make money out of these people. They clean the homes, and in return, these owners of homes would pay back to the agency. So, commercial cleaning services, commercial utility services are in at present. Next one is in going into pet products and services. So at home, I have three little cutie dogs. So I love dogs for all, you know. So at times I visit the veterinary clinic for their checkup, and then I buy some stuff for my dogs. And while others also do business like selling fish food or grooming or cats or selling food for the birds. And it is not just all about this. There are still other things that can make sense having to do with pets at home. So, getting into pet products and services is a good business during the pandemic because a lot of people's attention are diverted towards their pets. So, might as well let us sell something that would sell very well during this pandemic. Next is for the things that I have is on educational toys and games. So, as we all know today, and the whole world is getting into modular instruction or online instruction. And in order to divert the children's attention towards their, uh, shall we call it, boring assignments or getting bored about their modules. So parents are also trying to divert the attention of children by buying them educational products. So aside from playing, children can also learn from it. So as we look at this Scrabble or the Rubik's Cube or the what do you call this? Um, this the alphabet, learning the alphabet or trying to unleash the students or the pupils or children's inclination towards music, or having some puzzles in order to stimulate their brains. So educational toys and games are really in present. So children can play aside from getting a 12-hour engagement with their mobile phones, might as well they would use these educational toys and games at home. Another one is transcription services. So long before, when transcription was not yet in place in the market, people used to write, people used to type, taking down minutes during meetings. But for now, when there are already recordings, there are those people who do transcription services and it pays good. So people still make money. People do really make money out of transcription services, and there are a lot of these things: medical transcription. We have transcriptions of minutes in a meeting, and similar services. Then uh, other people who are so much inclined into fitness get into engaging themselves in providing virtual workouts for those who wanted to do fitness at their own pace, at their own time, as they manage both work, exercise and fitness, and as well as other stuff that they need to do. So there are those people who are doing business and virtual workouts. These are pre-recorded workouts that people can just log on into the internet and then browse all of this for a fee of something like 500 pesos per month or whatsoever. Others are also engaged in personal training. So personal training mostly deals with the one-on-one fitness training for those who are trying to become athletes, or trying to get slim and get into track again, or the shall we call them oldies who wanted to get fit and get away from all of this hypertension thing and other stuffs. Another that makes sense during the pandemic is home improvement. So as you can see, uh, home improvement products and services can really be availed because there are a lot of people who offer, like for example, landscaping or gardening or cleaning. So others just buy all of this equipment and utensils that they can use to improve their homes, or hire somebody to do the stuff and all of this. So home improvement, or while others do also these handcrafted products for home decoration, that is still included in the home improvement. So as we see today, there are a lot of people offering their services in order to improve others' homes, others' environment, others' backyard. So they do landscaping, they do flower planting, they do interior decoration, they do repainting and repairs of some slightly damaged parts of the home. So these are all included. This makes sense during this pandemic times. So that's home improvement. Or it may be virtual resume editing and consulting. So, in the old days, like 30 years ago, we used to type our resume and then submit it to the company or the agency that we are applying. In today's times, the resume is very important because it creates the first impression of the employer or the human resource management officer in a company. So we could not say that although we got the training during college about technical writing and so on, but there are still those people who are experts in resume editing and consulting. And they make your resume really attractive, which would captivate the attention of the human resource management officer and other um, managers and supervisors of the company, whoever they are. So, being a consultant or an editor of a resume nowadays makes sense, and it makes a lot of money, especially people nowadays are mostly in a hurry and they have no time to write all of this stuff when they wanted to apply or change into a new job that they got interested of, or submit their resume online. So it makes sense today being an editor or a consultant for um, resume writing for applicants and those who are deciding to transfer from one work to another. And then I don't know if this is the okay, that's not it. So another good business during the pandemic is a computer or device cleaning. It may be done personally. You just buy the cleaning materials online or on a physical store, and then you do the cleaning. Or else you hire other people to clean, and you pay for uh, the one who cleaned your device or your computer. So this is one good business because I guess it's more than 90% of the people nowadays are holding mobile phones. Others are having tablets and then laptops and desktop computers. So almost all people have this stuff, and this could be a good business because uh, it's not just that you are targeting a particular segment, but you are targeting everyone in the potential market nowadays. So computer or device cleaning is very important and it makes a lot of money. And another one is book writing or writing a downloadable guide. So companies nowadays may hire a person to write a downloadable guide, especially on the uh, equipment or the gadgets that we buy online or even in the physical store. Somebody must have written all those guides, and they are really useful when we use our gadgets for the first time, when we install something like a software, and then somebody is writing on the how to install a particular software. That's just this good thing. And while others write really books like how to write the news, how to write a report, or how to read and write Japanese or other languages. So, writing a book or writing a guide makes sense, and writing really makes sense. Or at some point, there may be encoding that also makes sense today. So that is what can we found, but these are not all. There must be a lot of things that are happening now in the internet, but in the pandemic, these are some of the most popular businesses that do happen and make a lot of money for people who are into business. Now, let us look at the local situation, the local businesses during the pandemic. Now, in the Philippines, it's very popular, the homemade food packages nowadays. So, in my place, in my province, this is all happening like you don't need to cook because somebody would do it for you. Like for a package of 6,500, you have a roasted pig and other four main courses, or it may be something for dessert that you can buy just order just online, order all of this homemade food, homemade delicacies, and then get a payment. And these food packages are being assisted by this delivery services. So we have here in the Philippines, like Food Panda, the Grab Food, Carry, and then we have, if you order like food from Jollibee, they have Jollibee delivery. For McDonald's, they also have McDonald's delivery. And then for those online services which are coming from the virtual market, we also have our delivery services like GNT and Intrigo. And there are a lot more of this food or product delivery that are currently operating in the area. And maybe it's not just in the Philippines, but all over the world. Next is locally, our ecotourism are sprouting in every part of the province. So the pandemic really does not have a 100% negative impact on the tourism industries because it made a lot of local tourism destinations possible, and people are making money out of it, especially if there are ecotourism destinations that are being identified, and the one who owns the land makes the money. They develop the place, put like cottages, uh, some flowering plants, developing and landscaping, but only for minor landscaping because we're talking about ecotourism. So this makes sense. Looking at the beautiful flowers for a an entrance fee of say 50 pesos or 100 pesos, and then taking pictures, posting all of these pictures on Instagram, uh, it's really doing well nowadays. So mobile phones are having a lot of sales, and then Instagram got a lot of posts, Facebook, and then uh, marketing is also made possible through this social media. So the pandemic has brought about a lot of good things to the tourism industry. And we also have our development of our inland resorts. So we have falls, we have swimming pools, and then overnight stays in native cottages. So this all makes sense during the pandemic. These are all so nice. These are all so kaleidoscopic. If you want to have that good or excellent experience at night, then you can go overnight in all of these inland resorts in the country. So those are all about international and local businesses during the pandemic. Now, question: how was I doing during the pandemic? What did I do? Okay, so I'm not just a professor in the university, but I also made a small business. This is a startup business which started in 2018, and I call it Absent. So, absent is a very popular term when you are in school. So, this would relate to a school, but what does really absent mean? So absent means affordable branded scent. So I use this name because it can easily be identified, it can easily be remembered, can easily be recalled, and it's very familiar. So this is a business on perfume or fragrance. So why did I decide to go on fragrance? Basically because almost all people wear fragrance, especially those who are in the adolescence, the shall we call the mature people. Almost all of us wear fragrances, and when you do business on fragrance, you do not have to worry because fragrances, perfumes are not highly perishable goods. They can be worn anytime, at any place as you wish, and then the product is would last for the more the product stays long in the bottle, the more it is seasoned. So the very reason why I'm not afraid that although during the pandemic there's got to be just a very minimal sale every month, but there is always sales of the product every month. So I used to have distributors prior to the pandemic, but um, they may be gone during the pandemic, but now they're trying to get back. And then we have a lot of new sellers that are now trying to distribute their products. So that's the very reason why I get into business on fragrances. So these are some examples of the fragrances that I sell. So these scents or fragrances come from Europe because they are all almost all of them are European blends like the Lacoste, Ralph Lauren. Then we have Bulgari. Then we have Benton. So most of these are coming from Europe, and all the raw materials can be bought in one store. So there are those imported raw materials, and there are also local raw materials that can be bought and can easily be accessed. Now, I am about to be done with this assignment. So in business, the worst calamity can turn out to be the best business opportunity. Just keep on thinking positive, just keep on uh, doing what is right. Although at some point you may slow down because you have to do this. There are always downtime for our business, but we cannot wait for a very long time for this business not to regain its strength. If you stop doing business during the trying times, you are not doing business. You are just playing because you just wanted to be all happy. And it does not happen because that is not true. There are always happy times, there are always times that you are up and times that you are down. So uh, never stop trying. So with my business, on fragrances, I do not know how many halts did I have. And then I continued again. And then I stopped and continued again until such time that I really decided to register the business to the Department of Trade and Industry for it to really have its name in the market. Now we're trying to make that name, local name, for because what I applied is only for local distribution here in my place, but it's making money, although not much, but it's starting to make money. So one needs to be creative and innovative. Uh, One good point is if you have hobbies, you can turn out these hobbies into business ideas. You can do business while you enjoy. So I would say that be creative, be innovative, and be positive. Now, for the conclusion, COVID 19 has proven to have affected entrepreneurial activities from micro to small, medium scale, and even large scale businesses. The major factor affecting the SMEs was consistent government orders of locking down the small businesses activities while which aim to prevent the spread of the coronavirus or the COVID-19, but shattered the existence or sustainability of our micro, small, and medium enterprises in the country. There is a need to support the entrepreneurs to enhance their coping abilities amidst the COVID 19 crisis. This pandemic could always be an opportunity to redefine the priorities for MSMEs with incorporation of capacity building for unexpected situation like the COVID-19 pandemic. Further, this could also be an avenue to develop further the creativity of the startups for them to sustain in differing situations that businesses may encounter, just like the COVID-19 pandemic. That is all. And I would say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And that is my contact email. That's wdcarrion at jrmsu.edu.ph. And my contact number, just in case you wanted to um, talk to me when you have a free time. So my contact number is plus 63 929 822 1345. So once again, this is Dr. Carrion, and thank you very much.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. We'll continue on with the second session. I'll pass this on to Tuan Afik from Livewire. Oops. Okay. I'll pass this on to Tuan Afik from Livewire to take over the entire session. Yeah.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much, Panfara. And hi, once again, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm at the office, so you guys can expect me to see wearing my mask. So I hope you guys are staying safe as well. Yeah. So so this day today, we're going to talk a bit more about design thinking. It's going to be very exciting. Some of you guys might have utilized it before, some of you guys have not. But just to let you know, it's a very simple tool for us to shift our mindset, and we can use it to build up a better and stronger idea, much more solid. Yeah. I without further ado, I'd like to share my screen. I think. I think I will need Puan Farah. Could you allow me to share the screen? I don't have the option here. Yep. So I think in the meantime, while they are setting it up, I just want to share with everybody. Yeah, if you guys have any queries about design thinking or lean canvas, I just want to quickly check before I move on to my slide. Has anyone used the lean canvas already? If you guys have used, give me a thumbs up. Or you guys can just say, I did on the chat box. Would be really nice to hear from you guys. Yes, I did. Okay, good. One person, only one person. We have a lot of people here. Where's everyone? Okay, I like how someone's using emojis on this one. To be honest, I don't know how you did that, but great stuff. Good. More. I did. Good. Great. Yeah. So I wanted to keep it very interactive, right? So I have a very important question for you guys, and this is a very, very important question. How many of you guys prefer, let's see, McDonald's over Jollibee? I know that the Filipinos, they love their Jollibees. So this is a very important question. If you guys love Jollibee, just type Jollibee. If you guys love McDonald's, type McDonald's. I want to see how many of you guys are responding to this. Oh, Jollibee all the way, Jollibee all the way. Someone can't choose. You have to choose now. Okay, someone says KFC. Yep, Jollibee, Jollibee, McDonald's, McD, with full enthusiasm. Jollibee, I'm still seeing Jollibee over here. McDonald's. Yep, Jollibee. I think we have a winner, a clear winner right here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, someone says they're lapar. Lapar basically means hungry. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to start a war. I just want to start my lesson. Can we do that? Okay, mahal kita everyone. All right, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna start the session. Yeah, that's a really fun one. Really get to know your taste palettes this morning. All right, if you guys happen to come to Brunei, again, just drop me some Jollibees. I'll be happy as well. Okay, so let me start the session. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sorry. I think there is a bit of a lag. Okay. Yeah, I think it's mine. Wait, let me just try it. Oh dear. Okay, I think it's a bit of a lag. Okay, sorry guys, it's a bit of a lag. I think it's back on. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sorry about that. It happens, guys, from time to time. Okay. Must have been the the Jollibee question, right? Okay, so let's start this. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about design thinking. Yeah. Let's talk about, let's not talk about food. Let's talk about design thinking for a bit. Yeah. So design thinking is a really cool concept. A lot of social entrepreneurs use this because they think about ideas that could help society. Yeah. So if you're at this point on stage, you're starting to build an idea. This is the perfect concept. This is the perfect thought process you can develop. Yeah. So let's dig deeper into it. Oh, okay. I think there's a bit of a lag again. Okay, here we go. So again, we want to start, a business, right? There's so many questions you could ask yourself. Like one of it would be, am I solving a real problem? Am I close to solving it? Sorry, excuse me. And basically, how big is the opportunity? Who are my competitors? What do experts say? Who are my potential customers and what do they think? How will I make money? What partners, which people are going to work with me on this one? How do I deliver my products or service? How much money do I need to get started? What is your funding like, right? So I'm sure you guys are thinking about this. And again, I've been in this situation before. I also kicked off my business years back, and I also still manage a few businesses on the side. But the thing is that um, this kind of thought process, you have to list it down in a way that you want to solve a problem. There's problems for people, there's also problem inside. Yesterday, we were talking about problems faced by customers. Today, we're going to change a bit of our mindset. Let's dig deeper into what we can offer right now. So I want to quickly play this video. Yeah, so it's this gentleman, founder of IDEO. If you guys have checked out the website, they have a lot of resources for you guys to learn as well. So I highly recommend it. Yeah, let's quickly play this video for a few minutes. Yeah. Okay, I think it's loading.
Design thinking is an approach to creative problem solving. It's a human-centered path to innovation.
Hello, I'm David Kelly. I'm happy you're here to explore design thinking with IDEO. You know, so many people don't think of themselves as creative, but I think that's wrong. Everybody's creative. And that's one of the reasons we teach design thinking, because we think that knowing this kind of approach can unlock your creativity and make you feel capable of coming up with routinely wonderful ideas.
Design thinking starts with people. It's about putting human needs at the center of all we do. It's about simple mindset shifts and new ways of looking at problems through empathy and collaboration. For an idea to be both successful and meaningful, we use 3 lenses to bring it into focus: desirability, feasibility, and viability. This ensures we're creating something that makes people's lives better, but that's also feasible to produce and makes good business sense. There are many different phases of design thinking. We find it helpful to teach it in a linear way, but in practice, it's more like this. Design thinking unfolds in iterative loops, moving back and forth across phases, some taking much longer than others. To learn it, you need to try it out for yourself. The skills and mindsets of design thinking can help you tackle your biggest challenges.
Hello, hi everyone. Sorry about that, a bit of a crash right there. So sorry once again. Okay, so let me just share some resource as well for everybody. Let me just come back to yeah, to my screen. So sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so we're back here. Okay. Let me catch up with you guys. Okay, so yeah, so sorry about that. Now let's talk back about design thinking. Okay, so design thinking is a very unique thought process. Just to make it easy for everybody, as the gentleman said just now, anyone could be creative. But the thing is, the thought of design thinking is that you got to put yourself in someone else's shoes, the user's shoes, and you have to think about what are different ways they could use it. Think about the user's journey, think about some critical thinking. What are the possibilities that you could utilize the product and service? How could you improve someone's life? And I think our fellow speakers for the past 2 days have been talking about how do you change someone's life. So this is one of the few steps for you to do. There's like a few components. There's empathy. Yeah, empathy means you want to take care or you want to understand someone's emotions, someone's feelings, and someone's thoughts process. You don't want to give judgment. You want to understand them and you want to place yourself in their shoes. There's also definition. We're going to dive deeper into it. Definition is where you define what is the problem statement. Are you sure that that is a problem? Did you gather enough information and data to be sure that that is an actual issue? Ideation, this is the exciting part. This is where you put in your creativity, you throw in all the ideas, throw in all the information, and come up with a product or a service or even prototype. And yeah, like I mentioned, prototyping, this is the first version 1.0 of your product, and how do you take it further from there? Then again, like we discussed from yesterday, from Lean Canvas, we improve it. It's like a loop. It always comes back into a loop. Yeah. So this is the main gist of design thinking. So for example, let's think about it in a much more high level way. Yeah. So although we are all students here, but we, again, I know you guys read a lot of articles. I know you guys also take some time to watch National Geographic. I like to watch those things. And you know, when you watch those things, you kind of try to start to empathize about people in different countries. Some countries were very privileged. I guess in Brunei, like we have a very good electricity power, right? It's very stable. In some countries, there's limited accessibility, maybe in some communities as well. So the mind thought process of it is that how do we approach this? Standard would be understanding the electricity consumption trends. Secondly, would be identification of target segments. You try to know who are we targeting, and then you focus in developing a final product, and then you start user testing. Yeah, you test it. But again, like in this case, one example I'm going to give out is how might we develop a standalone solar lighting product that meets the energy demands of a low-income household? Let me repeat that. How might we develop a standalone solar lighting product that meets the energy needs of a low-income household? Yeah. So in a standard approach, in a scenario, a family of say maybe 6 or 5, they are struggling with electricity. Some are students inside the household, and some are parents. And again, like it's very difficult, you know, like there's no improvements right there. This approach can be used whether you're in government or if you're a startup. Okay, so the design thinking approach would be try to identify the consumer target segments by doing consumer research. Who are the people that we are going to be looking at? It's going to be a full demographic. We're going to identify a small portion of it. If you have a pie, you're only looking at a small demographic of it, but it's going to benefit everybody. Yeah. Second part will be understanding of barriers to electricity usage. What limits them? What makes them not able to have that consistent electricity? Yeah. Third item is development of a prototype through inputs from users. How could we improve the existing product to something much more better? Again, like I said, you don't have to create something new. You can improve something existing and take it further. Last item would be iterations of user testing and product improvement. You want to start to execute. Executing is not an easy thing, but to be honest, once you really find that momentum, you really should write it. It's really great. You will find that, okay, there's so many things you could do, and you will, I would say it's an ongoing process, and you feel that if there is small developments, it's always great development right there. Okay, so again, this is something I want to make sure that you understand. There is a comparison in the thought process of design thinking. Let's talk about the first item, step 1, building empathy. Empathy means that you want to take care, you want to understand other people first before you make any judgments. The fact is that you want to make sure that you know what are people suffering from, you know what are the community facing. So remember, I'm going to make an example of us for later on. We're going to still use anywhere.co because we all want to travel, right? Yeah. So the thing is, the empathy is that people now cannot travel. But the thing is, let's take a step back. Why do people want to use anywhere.co? Firstly, is because they want to make sure they have a safe travel, yeah, and they want to make sure that they have support. They know where they want to go and things like that. So the thing is, we try to listen from different people, understand the thought process, because people say, oh, sometimes I don't have enough budget to travel. I don't get to experience anything. So sad, you know. So this is where we try to understand, we put the perspective of empathy, yeah? Try to question them, try to question a lot of people and see what are their thoughts. You'll find really exciting stuff. So the whole point to it is that there are no facts in the building, so get the hell out and talk to customers. So mind my language about this one, yeah? But the thing is, what we want to make sure is that we want to get out and we want to make sure that you're not limited and stuck in just one location. You want to meet different people. Just to let you know, when you do surveys, when you meet people, please don't just make surveys to your boyfriend or girlfriend, your mom or your dad, okay, or your siblings. Please try to meet a stranger and get these information. Okay, so some of the tactics you could consider when you do interviews, when you do gather information, is firstly to do small group interviews. Small group interviews could be like, for example, a group of 10 people, and you just get information from them. Like, okay, what are your thoughts on this? A round table is fine. I've seen so many people. I've been the ones in Singapore. People just like make like an event and they just get information. Everyone gets free coffee or free drinks, and that's really nice. Other ways is to do individual interviews. Individual interviews is when you meet a person one-to-one. So for example, I got your number and I said, hey, I'd like to do an interview. Would you like to give your thoughts on this matter and things like that? Yeah, so who knows, that would really work, right? You get really direct information. You get to see them, and that's really good. Field observation. So field observation is when you just don't interact. You just look and sit and just observe. You take note of the number of people coming in and out, and basically get to know what kind of information that are there. Lastly is the user journey maps. User journey maps is you try to identify what are the process and the process that people go from A to Z. Now, for example, when we talk about anywhere.co, what are the process of people traveling? They go to the website of like the travel websites, go to agencies, they browse through blogs, travel blogs, they browse through a lot of websites, right? And sometimes on Instagram, there's so many places that were tagged. So everyone has different routes, and sometimes they just, okay, go travel, meet, talk with the locals. And the thing is, there's more than 1001 journey maps that people have. You'd be surprised. So let's move forward from there. Who should you interview? Okay, so here there's two type of extreme users. There's group of people in the middle. There's also the first and the last group. The line above is basically time, yeah, and then this one is basically the range of the users. So upwards, looking at time, say assuming, right, anywhere.co, we just launched it, great. And this is catered for people who wants to travel, and people would say, people A in this group, they'll be like, oh my God, this is the perfect thing. I really want to go for it. I can travel safe. I can bring my friends. I can travel for cheaps. And it's really good, right? Then in the second group, second demographic, these are people who'd be like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I would go for it. Maybe no, but maybe eventually I would go for it when I need to. And lastly, there's also people who would be like, yeah, maybe next time. Maybe I think there's still better options, So these are the different types of users. What you want to focus on, in fact, is actually the ones from the A and the B, these first two, here and here. The reason being is because these two demographics, they know that they want to spend money. They know that you have solved their problem. Okay, so that's good. For the person on the C, this is okay. The thing is, even if you miss them out, they will try to think about you like over time. And that's a really good thing, yeah? Now, interview tips. Okay, I want to talk about design thinking in the specifically aspect of getting information. Again, you don't want to interrogate people, yeah? You gotta find a really nice way to approach. First way is to connect with the person. You have to talk to them. Hi, good morning, good evening, if it is evening, and you can tell them, hi, I am, for example, I'm Afik. I am doing a study on people's travels. I would like to get your information. And if they say no, I think you should respect their decision. But again, like you gotta just be proper as well, because if you are making them uncomfortable, then I don't think you're gonna get a successful or a solid review. The second item is don't ask guiding question. Guiding question basically means that, hi, do you like to travel across Europe? Europe, right? Or maybe you wanna tell them, okay, so we have two places to travel, and we're doing a survey. either Europe or Asia. But most people choose Asia. Which one do you want to choose? Right? So that's the kind of questions that seem a bit leaning towards one side, and you don't want to do that. Item 3, circle back to difficult and important questions. So if the question might seem difficult for them to answer, you can always bring it up again. Just ask them or try to reword it, and that's nice. That's perfect. Item 4, respect silence. So in a way that if they just decide, and that happens, like you guys, sometimes you get so shy until I ask you guys about Jollibee. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing, you gotta respect silence so you guys can try different things. Item number 5, give interviewees opportunities to ask questions. If you have the chance to ask questions, and that would be really good. But the thing is, for them, they also have queries like, who is this guy suddenly approaching me about, about say Jollibee, or maybe in this case for anywhere, who is this guy suddenly approaching me about travel? What are my traveling habits and things like that? Am I gonna get things for free? I would like that, but yeah, these are some of the few things that people would wonder actually. Yeah, if you're gonna do surveys and people are getting free things, free tickets, yeah, please ask me more than 10 times, please. All right, so let's move forward from here. Let's talk about defining problem statement. Clarity means being clear. It's a very important thing. It's key. You need to know that it is an actual problem. You need to know that there is a specific group, stakeholders, or a target segment, and you want to highlight that. You want to make sure that they can their needs are met. Yeah, so that's a very important component. This is where you define your problem. This is the moment where you define why is anywhere.co relevant for us. Why are we existing? Are we actually solving a problem? So the questions would be, is the question focused on ultimate impact? Are we looking at that? Does the question that you propose allow for a variety of solutions? Or is it just one? Does the question take into account context and constraints? What are the limitations if you were to create this? Yeah. So the problem statement when you design this is that, for example, how can we better improve traveling experience for budget conscious people, for safety assured people? There's a different type of segments. We talked about this yesterday. We're going to bring it up again later. So these are some of the few ways where you can design a problem statement. It's very simple, straightforward. 1 line or 2 lines is great. For example, 1, how might we increase access to cheap, reliable, and sustainable energy in rural communities? Second thing would be, how might we help farmers reduce best cost and greenhouse gases emissions throughout the agriculture, storage, and transportation segments of the supply chain? Yeah, that's a bit long, right? But you can make it much more compressed. Lastly is, how can we reduce maternal mortality? Yeah, so these are some of the questions that are posed across the globe. These are some of the things that you might face in your community. Item 3, ideation. This is the most exciting part, and I can tell you why. Because like yesterday, you guys basically helped me out type a lot of things, and I really like it. We're gonna do a bit of that after this again. So be creative. Just write in anything and any thoughts, and we're gonna explore that again. The whole concept of it is that don't limit yourself, but you have to be very specific. You gotta be a bit dive deeper into it. So for example, if you're talking about creating a solution or a package for female travelers, okay, let's really explore it. How much budget is it? And perhaps what are the places that are safe to go? Do they have any contacts with people? You want to make sure that you're putting into perspective that you're also taking care of this demographic. Now, let's consider, what if you guys are students, right? Anywhere.co, right? We want to make sure students can get a budget travel. They also get really nice promotions. Yeah, everyone loves promotions, and get to go to inspiring places with a mixture of knowledge, learning, and adventure. Everyone loves adventure. Yeah. So think about it. So how do we make sure that ideation is well guided? First step is defer judgment. Don't say everything, oh, your idea is not great, But usually we should be challenged as well in a way that, okay, let's think about that, but try to dig deeper. You can do that. You can always encourage someone to do that. Second item is open your mind to wild ideas. Yeah, some ideas can be super wild, but at this point, it's okay. Third idea is build on the ideas of others. So I think yesterday we did that perfectly. There's so many of your ideas, and I just like, okay, let's add this one, add that one, and someone added another one. So that's how we kind of like see that we're all in the same page. Fourth item is focus on the problem statement. Yeah, problem statement. Make sure that you are related to that again. Item 5, one conversation at a time. Okay, so when someone is speaking, you have them to speak and you listen. And same thing with your peers. You got to do that. It's a bit of we call it respect too as well. And item number 6, be visual. If you could draw, sketch, that's okay as well. It depends however you want to design it, however you want to do it. Lastly is go for quantity over quality. Quantity numbers at this point is okay. Quality, there is a step after that. We're going to refine it smaller and smaller after that. Yeah, we're going to do an activity after that. Again, we're going to do something similar, tutorial. So I'm going to show you guys a bit of this. Okay. This is an idea, for example, for a rural health help incorporated. Okay, rural health help. The problem statement is that how can we reduce maternal mortality in rural community? Okay, how do we make sure this whole thing is gonna make sure people survive? Mothers are safe, babies are safe, everyone is safe. So this is assuming everyone's throwing their ideas. Oh, we gotta have hospital on wheels. Everyone should go around, and the hospital should be much more easily maneuvering, going around and everywhere. Just randomly picking. Okay, there's new medical technologies. We should adapt it. Universal income for expectant mothers. Yeah, getting some budget for it is really good. It's not cheap. It's very important. 24-hour helpline. This is really good. Some of these things, these are things that people thought, and you don't see anything which I've read, right? Because right now we're in the process of taking in all the information, and sometimes some person would think, okay, so maybe the mother might be stressed out, so we should have them watch a YouTube series, help them to get motivated, and making sure that things are going to be well and safe. Yeah. So these are some of the few things. The step after this is very important. You want to start narrowing down. Okay, so just now we just focus on putting all the thoughts, all the ideas, everything is in there. The next step is you want to start narrowing it down. So clustering, narrowing is all about focusing, not about settling on which ideas or what ideas are easiest to execute. Not yet. The process is to look for similarities between ideas. You want to cluster them together to see if any themes emerge, and discuss or consider which idea to prototype. Okay, so this is where before you even start to prototype or come up with the solution, you try to see what are the trends, what are the things that people have in common, and then you could identify, okay, let's focus on that one aspect first. Focus on a problem. Just to remind everybody, don't rule out ideas that seem too edgy or risky. If it's a wild idea, go for it. For now, don't converge too far, too fast. Okay, don't try to narrow it down too soon as well. So this is how it's going to look like. Yeah, do you see how it's much more smoother looking? Remember the hospital on wheels I was talking about? Yeah, so some other person said like creation of rural hospitals. Well, on top of that, like, okay, that's pretty cool. There's more things we could do with it. And just now I mentioned about YouTube series. Some other person was thinking about soap opera television series, basic medical training services for men, for them, fathers, young fathers as well, to learn. Policies, some people talk about income for mothers, advocacy, lobbying, healthcare, 24 help service. So this is where we start to see everything starts to become into color, like different types of colors. Yeah. So take a minute to look into it. really understand, okay, this is what we're looking at. This is how we could move forward. So on this page, just this page itself, you can already see, okay, guys, team, are we going to focus on the app? We're going to focus on awareness training in this case. Okay. Oh, I think I heard the music in the background. Okay, I think it's gone now. All right. Okay. Let's take a step next. Yeah. Step 4, prototyping. Step 4 would be the act of making the ideas come to life. You're building to think. You also want to make sure that basically the ideas that you have are going to be put into creation. We're going to make it into something solid. One really interesting point is that you may realize that you might be in empathy, definition, ideation, and you may not even reach prototyping. You would try something else instead. Yeah. So, but again, the whole process would come into a loop. I put a note here. So usually for us for Livewire, we have more workshops than this. The next workshop would be on market research. But at this point, don't worry too much. I believe that you need to focus on developing your ideas first before you really dive deeper into the market at this point. Yeah. So don't worry too much on that. So 3 simple steps, just to remind everybody, is to build, to share, and reflect. This is something we talked about yesterday. You want to think about building something, and then of course, remember we want to talk about learning, we want to reflect using data and things like that. It's very simple. Prototyping, at this point, it's not major, but if you could build something, that's already great. I really would praise you guys for that. So let's talk about the first assignment for us, yeah? Don't worry too much again. Like I said, it's going to be my team. We're going to work on it for you. You just have to sit there, observe, and just key in the chat box. We'll help you guys out. First things first would be, how might we leverage technology to help Brunei farmers increase their yields? Okay, so this is one of the few things. But today we're not going to use these. We're going to use anywhere.co. But I'm just sharing with you guys what are the different types of problem statements. The second item would be, how might we promote recycling and waste management in Brunei households? Third is, how might we promote energy efficiency and clean energy transition in Brunei businesses and offices? Okay, so these are the 3 types of things that you could look into. We're going to do a bit of rapid brainstorming. Rapid brainstorming is what I mentioned earlier, where we put everything, all the inputs are going to be there. Yeah, so this is where we don't limit anything. Write as much as you can. If it's like 20, that's great. If it's lesser than that, try to push it a little bit further. If you're a one-man person, one-man show, you would only get like at least 10, and that's okay, good. But if you have more people in your team, you might get even twice than that, or even 3 times than that. Yeah. So one person could have like 2 to 3 ideas in this case. So remember to focus on the problem statement, defer judgment, get creative, 1 idea per post-it, be visual, and go for quantity over quality. This is the template we're going to work on. I'm going to jump into this after this. Then we're going to do clustering. So clustering would be look for similarities between ideas and cluster them together to see if any themes emerge, like what are the main similarities that we have. Yeah, I want to really explore anywhere.co, see how we could improve the business and see how we could really grow our segments right here. So remember, clustering or narrowing down is all about focusing, not about settling on which ideas is easiest to execute. Don't rule out ideas that seem too edgy or risky, just write it down. And lastly, don't converge too far too fast. You don't want to go narrow down and like just focus on that. At this point, we're still exploring. That's going to look like this. We're going to have a bit of this after this. Yeah, it's going to have like cluster 1, cluster 2, 3, and cluster 4. I'm going to touch upon initial business model, and we're going to explore that after this as well. This is one of the very important tools that we could learn to use. Initial business model is basically one of the models before you start on business model canvas. Yeah. So a business model canvas is something you will learn tomorrow, and you're getting a bit of a head start with the initial business model. So the reason being is because you get all this information and you put it, these are information from your cluster that you gathered. You narrow it down, you choose one, and you just put it up here, which one that you want to execute. You can sketch it. You can ask more questions that feel, okay, we have more questions we should ask. List it down, the key questions, things that you may or may not have solved. Talk about consumers. Who are the demographic we're looking at? Who are the extreme users, the people that really want to purchase it and people who may purchase it a bit later in the end? Yeah. But the whole thing is that you need to remember to stay focused on your problem statement. Don't simply go for the easiest idea. Don't worry about perfection. Consider both types of consumers and be visual. All right. So this is how it's going to look like. It's going to be slightly bigger. Depends on what kind of ideas that you guys have. I really want to talk about anywhere.co because again, for me, I really like traveling and I really miss it. So at this point, I want you guys to see how can we help that thought process? How can we take it further? Yeah, I know everybody really, miss flying and everything. And yeah, this is probably one way for us to, something we have all in common right now. So let me come back to that. I'm going to go into my screen, but before I jump into that, I'm going to come back to the main chat. I want to see if you guys have any questions for me. No questions? All good? Okay, so someone asked, thank you very much, Muhammad Azmi. Hi, how similar human-centered design with universal design? Very, very good question. Okay, so universal design is, let's put it this way, it's very close together. Human-centered, of course, we focus on the usability of people, yeah? Universal design is where, for example, there's different demographics, assuming people who are differently able, okay? People with wheelchairs. Try to consider, look at the building that you are in right now. Is it easily accessible by people with wheelchairs? If it is, then yes, you have a universal design. People can go in and out. There is that walkway, the ramp. But if it's not, then you don't have it. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. So the human-centered design is basically the thought process of thinking about someone who might have an issue and how do they achieve from point A to point B. Yeah. Thank you very much for that question. I hope it answers your question. Yeah, Muhammad Azmi. I see another question by Chang. What are the clusters for or about? So the clusters is basically for you to narrow down. We're gonna explore that after this. So for example, imagine we have a whiteboard. We're gonna talk about anywhere.co. Okay, we just write down, okay, we want to improve the business. We want to talk about packages. We threw in everything, all the ideas and thoughts. Cluster is where you start to narrow it down. You can see, okay, there's a group of people talking about policies. We're going to change policies. We're going to start talking about creating a new package. Some people talk about technology. So you see things that are in common, the things that are very close and similar, and you group them together. Yeah, and then you can see, okay, this is group one or cluster one. And then there's cluster 2, cluster 3, 4, and 5, and so on. Yeah, I hope that makes sense for you, Chang. Is that okay? If it is, can you give me a thumbs up or say good? Or you can say Jollibee or McD, whichever that you like. Yeah, Jollibee, great. Team Jollibee right there. Okay, as me, you're Team McD. Okay, good stuff. Everyone loves to talk about food, yeah. All right, we're gonna move on, yeah. Let's talk about the next item here. We're gonna focus on the ideation bit. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Oh, actually, I think my colleague Shu should be able to share the screen. So I think it's easier for me to just share and talk with you guys, yeah? So yeah, Shu, could you pull up the screen? All right, great. Thank you. Okay, so you guys can see, right, the screen is empty. Yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about anywhere.co. I'm gonna make a bit of a header here. Anywhere. We got to talk about problem statement first. How can we improve safety of travels? Okay, this is my question for us, yeah? I'm gonna make it slightly bigger so everyone can see. Problem statement, very simple. How can we improve safety for travels? Now, everybody, we're all employees of anywhere.co. Yeah, so let's think about this. How can we improve everyone's journey? Okay, I want it to be just like yesterday. I like how you guys were very interactive and just type it down in the chat box. Please do that with me. So let's think about this. Okay, we're anywhere.co right now, and you know, we want to travel, we want to make sure that the people around us that we love are safe. How can we make sure that? We're going to use a different color tone for this. Okay, so for example, 24/7 contacts, right? 24/7 assistance. Yeah. Okay, we're going to use a different color. Okay, at this moment we're not gonna group them yet. We're just gonna throw in some ideas. Okay, patrolling policemen, great. Yeah, we can mention that because we're in anywhere.co. We can assure and we can tell them the policemen are there. The place is safe for people to travel. Yep. Okay. Yep. So my colleague is gonna change that a bit. So we're gonna make it into a problem statement there. Yep. Okay, can I have more chats from everybody? What other things can we make sure that it's safe for people? SOS button rental. Okay, group tours, security. Okay, let me write that. Group tours. Okay, SOS button security. Yep. Great. What other things can we see? Can we expect from here? Mobile alerts regarding incidents. Yeah. I see hotline for travelers. Line for travelers, that's good. Insurance. Yeah, insurance in case of emergency. That's very good. Basically alerts in case of incidents, right? Yeah. What else can we see? Tracking apps, call centers. Yep. Sure, I think we can just leave it as it is. It's okay if it's a bit messy. We're gonna group it a bit after that job. Okay, so that's fine. Okay. Right. Okay, I see we have call centers. Did we put call centers? Okay, emergency information. Pepper spray, good. Protective tools. Example, pepper spray. Yeah. Okay. Vigilant. Let me read that. CCTV network in tourist hotspots. Great. Pre-travel research. Okay. Establish schedules. I see. Okay. On the belongings, you might need to expand. What about the belongings? What are we doing with the belongings? Yeah. Trusted money exchange. I see food. You might need to expand on that. What about the food? I know you're hungry. Okay. Okay, buddy system. That sounds good. Okay. So secure storage. Safe locker system. Are good. I like how someone's thinking about technology in this aspect. I see roll call system or attendance. Roll call system for attendance. I think this is when you're traveling in groups, right? So I'm gonna put that when traveling in groups. Yeah. Okay. Any more things that we can have here? Okay. Budget tracking. Okay, everyone needs to watch their budget during trips. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna take one last one, yeah, and that's it. Okay, rental GPS tracking for luggage, bags, approve accommodation, card security assistant. Okay, I'm gonna put that one as the last one, yeah. Approved accommodation. Okay, someone mentioned about embassy. That's a good one. Embassy safety assistant. Okay, access to emergency cash. Okay, that's the last one. A lot of ideas already, guys. This is great. Now let's take a step further from here. Okay. Now here we go. So as my colleague is sorting this out, we're gonna take a step further from here. Now, do you see that some of these are very similar? Some of them are very common and the same. I think this is where we start to narrow it down. This is where we start to cluster. Okay, so just now we're just throwing ideas. That's a very good point right now. We're gonna take it for. So we're gonna rearrange all of these. Yeah. So for example, technology. We're gonna make one basically one box. We're gonna make it a bit smaller here. Technology. I'm gonna change the color to yellow. Okay. So anything technology based, we're gonna park it here. Okay. And then let's talk about security. Security. I mean, generally we are talking about security, but in this case, let's talk about maybe yeah, policies, maybe, yeah, something that the location already has, you know, policy, insurance, maybe, right? Let me see. Okay, these are some of the two things. Okay, what about practices? Let's talk about practices, yeah. What are the best practices we could do? Practices, I'm going to use a different color. Sorry, that's going to be blue. Policy, I'm going to change the color as well. Yeah, so sorry about that. Let's do that here. Okay, practices are going to be here. Policies are going to be a different color. We're going to put it as the color pink. Okay. All right. It looks messy, right? To be honest, it does look super messy, but don't worry, we're gonna make it into 4 quadrants. I just want to focus on 4 right now. Okay. Let me see. Let's think about one more thing. Do we have any other things in common? Okay, maybe not. We'll go through it one by one. Let's go into this one, yeah? Technology. Okay. Let me see. Technology, we have yeah, budget tracking system. So we're going to change it to the color yellow. Okay, let's go through it one by one. We'll go through it from the left to the bottom. Call center, that's going to go into the technology as well. Okay. Yeah. And then insurance, that's going to go under policy. So I'm going to change it to pink. Right? Tracking apps, that's going to go into technology. So we're going to go put it as yellow. So you start to see all these trends, yeah? And that's really good. I feel that this is the kind of habit that people start to see, okay, all things are, you know, in common and everything, and they start to group it together. And that's really good. Okay. Okay. I want to look at things that are possibly around partnerships. So that would be another item I want to look at, partnership. So like we said yesterday, Anywhere.co has so many partners across the world. We gotta focus on that benefit right here. So trusted money changer, buddy system would be under practices. So we're gonna go through it. Yeah. It seems a bit messy right now, but that's okay. I'm gonna go through it up down from here. Let's continue. Rental GPS tracking for luggage bags. That is technology. Alerts of incidents. I think that would be in the technology as well. Again, some things might go into both, but in this case, we want to focus on one. Yeah. Protective tools. I think that would best go under practices. Access to emergency cash. I think that's the best practice. You got to change the color. So we're gonna do that. Policies. Yeah, policies, guideline. Obviously, we got to look at guidelines. We're gonna change that to pink. Yeah. Pre-travel research. That goes under practice. Okay, that's blue. Okay, QR for luggage and belongings. That is under yellow. That's technology. Okay, tour guide. That's under partnership. Patrolling policeman is under policies. Proof accommodation. That's gonna be under partnership. Okay, policies. Pink. Okay, see, we start to see the clusters right here. And the thing is, this is a very beautiful thing. It's so easy for you to do. You could also do this like, just while you're discussing with your friends. And sometimes it get a bit of intense. You really want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. But at this point, this is really good. Okay, we're gonna pick up the pace a little bit. Provide emergency info. That's gonna be blue. Okay. Emergency information, that's under best practices. So we're gonna bring that up as blue. Okay. Tour guide, that's under partners. Okay. It's under partners. Embassy assistant, that's gonna be partners. Yeah. Actually, no, that goes under pink. So actually, it could go both ways. See, it could go really both ways. In fact, I'll just put it on this one. Hotline for travelers. I think that would be under partnership. What are the partners that you have locally? That would be really good to have. Group tours. So I think that's one of the best practices. If you're gonna travel with a group of people, I think that would be really nice. SOS button for security. I think maybe that could fall under technology. Okay. Yep, 24 assistants, our assistants, those are best. I think we can put that in the policy that we could have. Yep, SOS button rental. That is under yellow. Okay, vigilance CCTV, that is definitely under yellow as well. Okay, we're almost there. Schedule, established schedules, that will be under blue. Roll call system for attendance when traveling in groups, that's best practice. Okay, and we're left with 4 more. Security storage. I think that could go under this one together with QR. Okay, and I think we're left with 3 more. Safe locker system. I think that's the same thing. Yeah, I'm gonna delete that one. So because we have the same thing. Card security assistant. That's under technology. Make sure that you have that, guys. And the last one is SOS button for security. Okay, I think that would be a technology then, in case of an emergency, right? SOS button rental. Okay, so you rent it and you also have the security. I'm gonna just take one of it, yeah? So I'm gonna remove the rental bit. Okay, so we're gonna group it together nicely here. Yeah, so now you guys can see, right? Now you guys can all see that this is how it looks like at this moment. Okay, so someone said the QR belongs to technology, I think. Yeah, I think we have that already. Thanks very much, Romero. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like at this moment. I want us to really dig deeper into this and figure, okay, which aspect are we going to look into after this? And the thing is, it's fine. If we want to look at all of it, it's okay, but we got to narrow it down. Now, let's take up a few things. Let's take up at least one item each. So we want to focus. Let's go back to the question. I think we covered the box, the question on the top, problem statement. Is it resonating well with what we have written here? How can we improve safety for travelers? Yeah. So let's focus on that. Let's see. Technology-wise, budget tracking, is it safe? Yes, it is. But I think it would be much more better if it is basically on the luggage and belonging, like safety for that instead, right? So something like that. You gotta start. You can see the trend is slowly going into that aspect. Now, things like policies. There's insurance, mobile alerts, all of these, patrolling policemen, 24/7 assistant guidelines. These are some of the information that you can see would be resonating so well with policies. It suits perfectly. It's just that demographic, right? And then there's other things such as practices, access to emergency cash. Okay, would it fall into safety? Would it be relevant? Yeah. So this is the part where you start to question. Okay, this is where we start to eliminate. Yeah. But we're gonna take a step further from here. All right. I'm gonna move forward from here. We're going to move towards initial business model. Okay, but before that, if you guys have any questions, just pop it up in the chat. I want to see or hear what you guys have to say. At least we are now on the same page at this moment. Okay, none? Good? All right, I think if that's okay, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm assuming you guys are all right with it, so that's fine. Yeah, I see a thumbs up. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's move forward from here, right? I want to focus only on at least, let's take one of each. Yeah. So perhaps let's talk about how can we improve safety for all travelers, for travelers. Out of the technology here, which one do you guys think we should take out of technology? There's like budget tracking, rental GPS, QR, secure storage, SOS button, vigilance CCTV, alerts of incidents, tracking apps, and call center. Which one do you think we should take on? Just one. I want to see in the chat box what you guys want to say. Then we will proceed from then onwards. I think everyone is still shy. Tracking apps, great. Thank you for your response. I really like it. Protective tools. Alerts of incidents. Okay, everyone's going for different ones. I see, okay, technically the apps are still leading. There's apps, tracking apps, vigilance CCTV. Okay. Protective tools is okay. There's 2 votes here. Tracking app CCTV is as well, okay. Tracking apps. Good. Okay. I'm not going to spend too long on this one. We're going to go for the tracking apps for now. Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to do another vote for the next 3 ones. Yeah. So, we're going to move forward to the next page. You can cut and copy that one, and you can put that one inside. Inside that one. So copy and go to the next page and put tracking apps in the solution, on the solution. Yes, thank you. All right. We can expand from there after this, yeah? So let's go back to the previous page. Let's talk about the next item. Let's talk about policy. So there's insurance, there's mobile alerts regarding incidents in areas, guideline, patrolling policemen, and 24/7 assistance. In this case, I want us to take at least two. Let's take two from this one. Yep, because policies are very important. This is going to be responsible for the well-being of the people traveling on your platform. 24/7 assistance, great. Thank you very much, Oliver. 24/7 assistance, insurance, great. 24/7 insurance, 25/7 assistance. Yep, we have an additional hour. Thank you very much. 24/7 assistance and insurance. 26/7 in insurance. I'm predicting there's gonna be a 27 after this. Okay, so we're gonna take on insurance and 24/7 assistance. Yeah, yep. There is a 27 assistant and insurance. Any number going up? 28. Okay, so we're gonna put that 24/8. Great one. Okay, so we're gonna put that in here. All right. It's not the end yet, guys. It's not the end. All right. So we're gonna move back. Let's talk about practices. Practices. For practices, I want us to at least take on, yeah, let's take on two in this case. But again, remember, how can we improve safety for travelers? Okay, safety for travelers, bear in mind, how can we make sure that the travelers on our platform anywhere is safe? Pre-travel research, great one. That's the first one. Pre-travel research, good. Pre-travel, good. Buddy system, nice. Emergency info, okay. That I see two emergency infos there. It's on priority right now. Okay, that's 3. Protective tools, 1 vote. Protective tools, 2. Okay. Emergency. All right. I think we have a clear winner here. I'm not going to spend too long on that one, yeah? And this is really good. So we're going to put into pre-travel research, and we're going to put in emergency information. Actually, just put 3. I see the protective tools too as well. Let's do that. Yep. So pre-travel research. Okay, great. Last one, this is going to be the most exciting one. We're talking about partnership. Let's pick only one partnership that would be suitable. Which one would it be? Would Trusted Money Exchanger would be great? Tour guide, would they be great? Approved accommodation, would they be good? Embassy or hotline for travelers? Which one would it be, guys? I just want only one. Hotline. Trusted Money Exchanger. Yeah, actually, yes, some people would want that, right? You know, Hotline Bling. Great. Drake would be so proud. Trusted Money Changer. Okay, since there's 2, I'm gonna give it easy for us all. So shoot, let's take on okay, there's hotline for travelers, there's tour guides, and Trusted Money Exchanger. Let's take all those 3. I want to put it there. Let's do that. Okay. Tour guide, yes. All right, looks good. Okay. Here, can we adjust the size? Great. Okay, now I'll tell you guys why I'm going to focus only on one technology. So the thing is, technology, Drake as the tour guide, good one. Thanks very much for that. So anyways, the reason being why I focus only on one technology is because technology is not an easy thing to dive into, right? And it doesn't make sense if you have too many technologies. So here, I just want to focus, and to make it easy for all of us to focus only on just one. Now, do you see the solution that we have here? Shu, perhaps can we zoom a little bit? Just zoom just a little bit. Focus on the solution, yeah? Okay, no problem. Yep. Okay, can we browse a little bit down and to the left? Yep. Yes, yeah, just like that, slightly to the right. Okay, so the solution is that we can see that basically, okay, yeah. So the solution is that we have a tracking app. We want to focus on the accessibility for insurance. We want to have a pre-travel research. Basically, that's the best practice we should have. We also want to have protective tools for people to basically on our app, we could purchase it. We know where to buy these things as well. And the thing is, we also want to have the emergency information ready as well. Yeah. So again, do you see the connection between all of these right now? Yeah. Some of the partners that we have are, for example, the tour guides, hotline for travelers, hotline bling, of course, Drake. There's also trusted money exchanger. We don't want to get to like when we're traveling outside, and it's no fun when suddenly you get hit by pickpockets or things like that. All right, so you want to make sure that you're safe. So here, this is it. This is what anywhere.co could come up with, a tracking app for your safety and assurance. Now let's talk about this, our consumers, yeah? Who would be using it? Okay, so Shu, we're gonna start writing it down right now. I want to see what type of consumers are we gonna look into here. So everyone, I want to see on your chat, primary, let's focus on the primary. Who is the person who would want to use this? Travelers is too general. Let's dive deeper into it. Yeah, I remember we talked about female travelers. Yeah, so we can write that one down first. Female travelers, solo travelers, frequent travelers, solo travelers. Yep, solo travelers, and yeah, I think you can put it into numbers, Shu. Yep. Backpackers, students, family, expedition travelers, worker, newlyweds, researcher, family and researchers, holiday tourists. Okay. Business people. All right, we got a lot already, yeah? So that's under your primary. Now, yeah, and first-time travelers. We should put that. First-time travelers. That's a good one. Okay, we're gonna stop there. We're gonna dive deeper into extreme. Okay, so Shu, we're gonna make it nicer. Put it there. Extreme users. These are people who. Okay, let's talk about the extreme users. Extreme users are people who wants to use it, the first adopters. First adopters are the first people who will, once you have this promotion, this app and this tool, they will go straight at it. There's also people who would use it last. So we're gonna differentiate it to two parts, first and last. Okay, we're gonna talk about first. Look at your list here at the moment, there's 9. Okay, so first would be who? Okay, so Shu, can we type down first would be? Yep, maybe backpackers, female travelers. Okay, we're gonna put at least 3 to 4 here, yeah? First time travelers. Okay, we're gonna put one more. I see solo travelers, family, Vin Diesel. I like how we all watch all the shows. Oh, okay. People who want closure with their ex. Well, good luck with that one. Family. Okay. So, sure. Okay. So, Shu, for the extreme users above backpackers, can you put first? These are the first people who will use it. Yeah. Yeah. Don't delete that one. Undo. Okay, it's okay. Yeah, my colleague said the heartbroken going on a wanderlust. Okay, and solo travelers. Yep. So above backpackers, can you just put first? So these are the first adopters. Yes, there you go. Can you write first? Yeah, first adopters. Yes. All right. Or early adopters. Actually, the word is early adopters. Yeah, sorry, could you change it to early adopters? Yes, thank you. All right. So we're going to move forward, yeah? So the leftovers are the people who are in extreme, the people who would use it last. I will only take two, or actually three lah. We'll just take three because we have like 9 right over there. So I'm only gonna use 3. So think about this really hard. Who are the last users? So shoot with the header. Can you put last users? Okay, make a copy, delete that, and then just put last users. Okay, as well as all people who are missing badly to travel. Yes, of course, we all miss to travel, right? Yeah. Okay, researcher and business, they're the last ones to use. Okay, any other more? Business people, yeah. Because anywhere.co helps people to travel for fun, right? Researchers, family travelers. Okay, I'm still seeing the trends mostly towards researchers and business people. Okay, there's only one for family travelers. Yeah, so these are technically late adopters, yeah? Last users, aka late adopters. We can change that too, late adopters. Great. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stick to 2 in this case, yeah, because I think holiday tourists might still seem a bit too general for us. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna stop there. So now, if you guys can see, this is how it looks like right now. We know who are the people who would use our products. There's 9 type of people. The early adopters are at least 4, and late adopters are the last 2. These are the people who may or may not use it, maybe later if I have the option for it, right? So let's move on. I hope this is okay for everybody. Yeah, so we're gonna move on to the next part. I'm not gonna go into Sketch because it might be a bit technical for now, but I want to go into key questions first. Yeah, key questions are: what are the unknowns? What do you want to learn about? What are the challenges? So here, take the time. If everyone could just contribute at least 1 or 2 questions. What do we not know so far about this? So shoot, can we zoom it out a little bit? Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so far, I want to see. Yeah, could you also put the problem statement on how might we? Yeah, how might we improve safety for travelers? Yeah, there we go. So we can see. Okay, so the quick questions are that what are the unknowns? What are things that we still don't know about whatever information that we have? We already have the solution, but what are the things that's still missing? Yeah. So for example, we already have an app. We already have the insurance, 24/7 assistance, pre-travel research, and all those things, hotlines, tour guides. Let me see. It might be a bit difficult because we already come up with a solution, right? But at the same time, it's still fine. We can still see challenges, I would say, for here. Okay, so perhaps price. What are the price? What are the cost? Yeah, so write it down. Price, P-R-I-C-E, sorry, not cost. Yeah. Yeah, budget intended for travel by people. Yeah, I think, yeah, there you go. And the app, because it's an app, is it free for all? Is it freemium? Is it premium? Yeah, so we can write there. Okay, put it there, app free or freemium / freemium. Oh, yeah, premium. Good. I see someone puts, what differentiates us from competitors? Yeah, right there. Who are our competitors? Accessible devices. Yeah, what are the devices? Accessible devices. Yeah. Reliability. Okay, reliability. That's a good one. I think we might need to dig deeper into it. Yeah. Okay, personal info safe. Good one. So personal info, right? Think about this. Where are we storing the information? Is it in the cloud? Yeah. Cloud base. I think we should talk about that as well. Okay, so I think sure you can type it down. Yeah, I'm gonna help you as well on that one. Okay, my screen is loading. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna type it down. Yeah, I see someone talk about, yeah, app encounter server down, user friendly. Is it how? What is the UI UX behind it? Okay, so these are really good questions, right? So we're gonna put it here first. Okay, so we're gonna stop for that for now. Usability, yep, that's under UI UX. Okay, all right. So normally we would have to expand all these questions, but my colleague, she put it into one sentence, right? It's easy for us to see. So the thing is, you can identify what are the questions that you can really start to see, like gauge, okay, we gotta solve price first, we gotta solve budget first. Now look into this. So Shu is zooming that right now. And which one among all of those is very important for you right now as a user? Assuming that we are all the users for this. Is it the price? Is it the budget? Is it the freemium? Price and budget. Okay, if that is the case, then good. Shoot, we're gonna change the color for that. Can we put the color as yeah, pink is fine. Good. Okay. Only two? Are these important? Or do you guys have others that you feel is important, equally important? Okay. I think so far only these two, the way I see from the response, so that's okay. Okay, UI UX, that's very good. Thank you very much for the contribution. And reliability, good. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for your contribution. Really appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna stick to this for now, yeah? So there's like 8 questions and 4 important items to look into. So now, you have to understand that this step forward is very important. How can we take it further? Is the price, how are we going to set the price? This is the part where you discuss with your team. How much are we setting the price? What is the budget that is suitable that we can advise people for their travels? And what is the UI UX like? Is it smooth and easy for people? What are the accessible devices and things like that? What is the reliability? Do people get to see the rates? They get to comments and things like that. Yeah. So this is where you can start to see and design the features. It's very fun. I would say this stage after this is gonna be basically all about their prototyping and things like that. Okay. So we're gonna stop this part. We're gonna go to Sketch. Okay. So we're gonna zoom out a little bit and Sketch. Okay, let's talk about the app. How do people download the app? Okay, so very easy. Go to Play Store. First part, Play Store. App Store, Play Store. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and then the next step is that for them, once they are able to do that, or they can also go to the website, right? App Store, Play Store /website to download. What's the next step? Do we need to register? Yeah, register. We should do that. Okay. Then after that, you fill in your information. When you register, you fill in your information. Then after that, you can start to book. Remember the items that we have. Let's look up for a bit, Shu. I want to see the things that we offer. We offer insurance. We offer 24/7 assistance. We offer a tour guide, hotline, a trusted money exchange. So once you register, you can do so many things. So Shu, we're gonna make it into a tier, top 1, 2, 3. So the first thing is that you can buy. Oh no, I think that's fine. It's gonna go firstly into single line App Store. Then from register, we're gonna branch it out. Yeah, we're gonna branch out from the register. So firstly, we can look for insurance. Okay, insurance package. Yep. Other features you could look into is getting 24/7 assistance calls. Yep. Okay. And then we also can purchase our very own protective tools. Shoot, that's gonna be after register. Insurance is gonna come after register. Yep. And then 24/7 is gonna be under insurance package. Great. Yep. Okay, protective tools. That's it. That's it for now. Yep. So can you guys see how it's gonna look like right now in this moment? This is just a few things so far that we have. Yeah. Okay. Can we zone out for a bit, Shu? Okay, so someone mentioned why not we select our destination first? I think that would go under register. When you travel, you register, you select your location. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can put that as well. Yeah, good. So that's going to be under register. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so let's take a time to digest this right now. Look at the screen and we can see all the information are much more cleaner, much more precise. Payment gateway, I like how someone is suggesting that one. Payment gateway can be under register as well. Yeah, good one. Okay, right, so that's it. They're done, yeah? We're done for now. Now, I want you guys to understand this at this point. So when you're designing your business ideas for your own project for BIMP-EAGA, take a note of this. Again, you can come up with your own ideas and use the same method and methodology and process to see where you can go. Sketch and design can be as free as possible. If you want to draw, put diagrams, that's okay as well. Some people do that. But I highly recommend to make it into some sentence, and basically you could word it out, because some visuals or images, people would have a different understanding or perception of it. Yeah, so try to make it as descriptive as possible. Yep. So yeah, let's look back into the previous slide. Shoot. Look at that. From here, all the ideas and clusters, we move to the next page, which is page 3. We are talking about how can we design an initial business model. Initial business model usually describes a bit about how do you start creating a cost. You could also start looking at revenue, but in this stage is still in the early stage, so that's okay, right? The next step for tomorrow, then we will dive deeper into it. So I want to leave the floor open if you guys have any questions. In fact, we're a bit early for today. I'm very surprised. Thank you very much, everybody, for your cooperation. Does anyone have any questions, or was it clear so far? If you guys are good, I have a Let's see. I'm gonna try a different thing. I'm not gonna talk about food because I'm already hungry. Let's talk about something else. Okay, whoever. Okay. Um. Whoever is okay, you guys could say apple or. Okay, wait. Pizza or pasta? Pizza. Good. Pizza. Pizza. Still on food. Yes, because lunchtime is coming. Pasta, of course. I knew I can get all of your attention through food. This is, when people say food is the language for everyone, this is so true. I think Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Philippines have really good food, no doubt. Pizza Hut, pizza time. I see mostly pizzas. So all of you guys love pizzas. Some people love pasta. Okay, all right. My tummy starting to go, starting to rumble. Chicken Joy to pizza spicy. Now we know that's a Jolly Beef fan. 2226111. That's a Bruneian Pizza Hut hotline. Great stuff, Tuna Delight. Anyways, yeah, I think this would be it on this one. If you guys have any further questions, just let me know and we'll definitely help you guys out. But if you guys have no questions, I think I'm okay. Yeah, let me just quickly go back to my screen. Yeah. Let me just close this in and yeah. Okay. All right. So this is it. Like normally we conduct the classes online. Sorry, in person, not online. We usually do it in person, and because of the whole pandemic, things have changed, and we have modified it. But it's always really fun if you do it with your friends or the people around you when you sit down. It's really good to just get everyone's thoughts and ideas on this one. So yeah, to wrap it up, design thinking is a really great tool for you to quickly come up with innovative ideas. It can be prototyped, improved rapidly, and the fun part about it is that you get to learn the different perspectives of the users. I really enjoy this one because personally for me, you get to hear from people and understand their side of the story and the perspective. Why do they feel that this is a problem statement? So remember when we were talking about all about anywhere.co, we were putting ourselves into perspective that we are anywhere.co and that we are trying to help other people, the travelers, the eight types of people that we want to help out. Okay, so here it is. All right, so yeah, if you guys have any more things that you guys want to look into, I highly recommend checking out on IDEO. Just type it down on design thinking. But of course, if you guys have any inquiries, just pop it up a chat from me on LinkedIn. We can set up a time to call. So yeah, just want to quickly say thank you very much to everybody. And I know I'm very early. Okay, so someone mentioned, I was wondering if you have the video link to the show earlier. Okay, let me show that one here. Yeah, I have the link here. Let me just put it up. Okay, I'll put it up in the chat box so you can check it out. Yep, here we go. If you guys want to check it out, the link on the IDEO, it's really good. It's really good, and you can observe. The link for yesterday and today's session, I believe that's going to be from the committee of BIMP-EAGA. Yeah, for any more inquiries, just let me know. I'll be happy to help out. One thing I want to end my session this morning. It's a bit early though, but I wonder if that's okay with the committee. If I may end the session. If I may end the session, I want to say that feel free to just discuss and explore all the ideas. There's no rooms for, I would say, judgment. In this case, we're gonna make sure that the environment is safe for you to explore. Okay. So with that, I want to give it back to Puan Farah.
Thank you, Tuan Afik. I think we can end the session there unless we have any questions from the participants. If the participants can just upload their questions
through the chat box. But if there is no more questions, maybe we can then maybe we can end the session, and then we will see everyone tomorrow. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much to Anafik for the workshop today. We hope to see you again tomorrow.
Yep, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, BIMP-EAGA team as well. I think you guys have worked really hard on this one. Take care and enjoy your lunch, everybody. See you soon.
Enjoy your lunch. Thank you.